Ted Demme, the director of Blow. Tell me first about Johnny Depp, who plays George. Well, no, before I go to that. First clip is where George and Tuna meet Derek, the famous Colombian drug lord. Here is
Ray Liotta,
who's playing Fred Young, and it gets into an understanding of that relationship. Go.
Blow.
I'm pleased to welcome Ted Demme back to this table. Welcome back.
Thank you, Charlie.
First of all, this is a true story. Dennis Leary says, look at this book, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
said...
Yeah, no, he gave it to me 6 years ago, and he goes, you're not going to believe this story. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I read it right away, because he's pretty threatening.
Yeah.
But so I read it, and I just couldn't believe the story of an all-American boy, grew up in, Massachusetts, high school football, all-American, the life of the party, Mr. Popularity, goes on to become Pablo Escobar's right-hand man. I was like, wow, I need to figure it out.
Man, there was some scene there where Escobar, he says he couldn't believe that this guy that George had been able to distribute all that dope.
Yeah, in 3 days.
And he said, you did this in 24 hours? And he said, no, in 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah. Everybody else was talking about 6 months.
I know. There was a market for it. I mean, George is in the either the right place at the wrong time or the wrong place at the right time. He was in prison in '72 for smuggling grass, and he ended up in prison with a Colombian roommate.
Right.
And there's a line in the movie, I think you remember, that he said, because I went into college jail as a crime school. I knew with a bachelor of marijuana and came out with a doctorate in cocaine, and that's where they figured it out.
Interesting characters. Tell me first about Johnny Depp, who plays George. Well, no, before I go to that.
Sure.
Where's George today?
George is in Otisville Federal Correctional Facility in upstate New York, and went and saw him yesterday, and we had a little mini premiere, me, him, and the warden, on a 7-inch monitor with bad speakers.
What did the warden say first?
The warden it was really amazing. The warden really was touched by it. It was like the last 20 minutes, as you know, are pretty, emotional, pretty dramatic, and George, as you can imagine, was really hitting the Kleenex, and I looked over at the warden, and the warden was kind of hitting it up too. But
really?
that's like the dichotomy of George. It's like, so many guys that, on paper should really not like this guy really became fond of him. And that's, as a filmmaker, I thought that would be a great challenge, to bring a character like that that was so multidimensional to the screen.
All right, Johnny Depp, was that a
dream? I mean, this guy's, he's a chameleon, Charlie. I mean, you've had him here. He's like, every movie he's done, he's become something else. He doesn't just, it's not Johnny Depp starring in the movie, it's Johnny Depp as the guy starring in the movie. Like Donnie Brasco, Edward Scissorhands, George Young now in the same room, all the same guy. He's an amazing human being, and he's just, you don't hire him to step on the line, step on the mark and say the line. You want him to give you input and bring it to you because he's so smart.
Yeah, he really is a smart guy.
Oh, man, he's great.
Yeah, he and Sean remind me of, there's something about their intelligence that always comes through.
I know. Well, Johnny and Sean, they've both taken such great risks with their career. They keep doing smart projects, and these guys get offered the big Jerry Bruckheimer $20 million movies. Believe me, and it's tough for them to turn those down because that's a lot of money, and they see contemporaries of theirs with a lot of cash. Not that they don't have money, but they've have to fight and do it a little bit, do it a different way. So
yeah, I think Sean jumped all over Nick Cage, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he got him pretty good, I think. Yeah, but he called him a performer, not an actor.
Yeah,
no one hurt.
All right, let me take a look at a clip here just to get into the tune of this. This is first clip is where George and Tuna meet Derek, who's played by Paul Rubens, which was Pee Wee Herman, but a very interesting casting by you.
Good, thanks.
Oh, so this is the new man, huh? It's cute. George.
Tuna.
Hello, Tuna. Enchanté, George. Barbie, he is yummy. He looks just like a Ken doll. Ken and Barbie. Oh my God, it is so perfect.
Traffic.
Yes.
Movie got lots of attention.
Is that out yet, Traffic?
It made it to the big screen.
In a few top 10 lists, I think.
Right. I think it did. And the director did well at the Academy, I think.
Right.
Does that help, hurt, influence? What
Well, I'm hoping that I'm hoping it's going to help. Obviously, I mean, I think the great thing about Traffic as a film, being in the drug crime genre that we're certainly in with a movie called Blow. I think a lot of people went and saw that film because it was so well received. The word of mouth is so great. It made like $100 million. So a lot of people went and saw that film that traditionally don't go see films in that genre. So I think if they went and had a good time with Traffic and really liked it, then I think they'll really be able to see our film and find something in it that's different but compelling.
Now, but is your movie about drug trafficking, or is it really a character study about one guy and sort of an American tragedy or an American story?
Exactly. Well, that's what it is. I mean, I think our film is two things. One, it is historical. You know, it starts much earlier than Traffic did. It starts, you know, in the early 70s and late 60s. It's one man's journey. I really do believe it's the classic American dream gone horribly wrong. But at the heart of our movie, I really believe it's a love story. And it's a love story between a father and a son. And a son and a daughter, and what this world does to one particular family and how it destroyed this family.
I want to show a couple of scenes like that. First is where George tells Pablo Escobar, who's now dead, the famous Colombian drug lord, that he can transport cocaine to the United States. Here it is.
Great.
How much can you transport?
Again, this is a language that I would have to discuss with my partner, but 300 kilos. So that's $3 million.
Nick Cassavetes wrote the script?
Yes. Nick Cassavetes and David McKenna, they both collaborated on it. I've had the project for about 6 years. So David wrote it, adapted the book in the beginning, and Nick came on about 3 years ago and added a lot of the heart and soul to the film.
We didn't find a role for Dennis Leary in this?
No, he couldn't. No, he was busy working. He's got a TV show now and stuff, so he's a busy guy.
What's the hardest thing about directing?
Hardest thing about directing is probably finding the project that you feel passionate about and feel that you want to spend at least a year of your life on, because you better like it, you know, and it encompasses your entire body and soul and mind, and you better really like it. So it's difficult to find a story that personally compels you enough to make you want to do it.
Show this too, because this shows a relationship between the father and the son that you talk about. I mean, here is
Ray
Liotta, who's playing Fred Young, and it gets into an understanding of that relationship. Go.
I know what you're up to. Not everything, but I get the picture. And I don't care. I don't like it. It's not what I would have chosen for you. But it's your life. It's got nothing to do with me.
Soundtrack. What's on the soundtrack?
Soundtrack is the definitive rock and roll soundtrack for me. Rolling Stones, Leonard Skinner, Marshall Tucker Band, Cream, Ram Jam, this brand new artist who's amazing, Nika Costa, who you'll definitely be hearing about. She's on Virgin Records, and she did the end credit song. It's beautiful. It's just a fun rocking soundtrack.
All right. Blow opens in theaters nationwide today as we tape this on Friday, April 6th. So take a look at your local theater. We will also hope to talk to members of the cast of this film, including Paul Reubens and Johnny Depp, if we can lasso them and get them into this studio.
I'll help you.
All right, I'm sure. Ted Demme, the director of Blow.
Thank you, Charlie.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. Tell me first about Johnny Depp, who plays George. Well, no, before I go to that,